Hey everyone, Tim Stoddart here, coming to you from my car outside of a random Starbucks because I'm waiting to get in, but I got to record my video today. I want to talk to you about podcasts. Podcasts are really interesting because they seem so competitive. There's a million podcasts out there, and every day it seems like somebody else is launching a podcast. In reality, it's one of the most open markets and one of the most open self-promotional tools that there is. There's my friend Danny Miranda, he texts about this, or excuse me, he tweets about this a lot because he's really interested in the stats for podcasting and how many people there are. The vast majority of podcasts haven't published an episode in weeks. Only a few, like a tiny percentage of podcasts have made it past 100 episodes. And so if you're watching my videos, if you're thinking about creating something for yourself, creating a brand for yourself, I really think you should think about looking into podcasts for a couple reasons. One, they're easy to start. If you go to anchor.fm, you can create a podcast for free. They are easy to create because if you have a cell phone and if you use Anchor and you at least have some earbuds, you can get relatively good sound quality. There's podcasts that get millions and millions of downloads that are just guys or gals jumping on Zoom and having conversations. So as long as the sound doesn't totally suck, you can still upload a pretty reasonably well production value podcast. And the third reason why I think podcasts are great is because when you start off, getting interviews from people that are in your industry is just such a great way to network. I remember when I first started my podcast, back when I was doing interview style podcasts, one of the best tools I had to meet new people, to get integrated with new people, even to generate new business through referrals and relationships was simply my podcast. Because in the world that we live in, it's very difficult to get 45-minute to an hour conversations with people that aren't super distracted, that aren't looking at their phone all the time, that aren't bouncing about a million which ways. Whereas for some reason, if you invite somebody onto a podcast and you share your platform with them, they will give you their undivided attention. And through my podcast alone, I don't do this one anymore. It was Tim Stodds FM. Now the Copy Blogger podcast doesn't have interviews. Regardless, when I first started podcasting, I would do interview style podcasts, and it was just one of the best ways to get networked. So to summarize, podcasts are still wide open. Yes, there are a lot of them, but hardly anybody actually does it with any consistency. Two, they're easy to start. They're easy to upload. They don't take a lot of time to create. Is very frictionless. And three, because if you start with interview style podcasts, you can make great relationships, great networks, and use it as a way to expand your brand pretty immediately. All right, that's it for me. I am going to jump into Starbucks and get to work, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.